Hello, I'm Jim Morningstar, and this is the third in our series, Returning to Source, A Journey of Breath and Intention. Today's class is Father Wounding, Recovering Confidence and Competence. I am so pleased to have a longtime friend and colleague, Wilfried Ehrmann, who is a licensed psychotherapist, international trainer in integrative breathwork, and author of Evolution in Consciousness and Coherent Breathing. So today we're talking about that primal template for being competent and valued in the world, which is our Father. Now, often how we're valued by Father reflects how we feel valued by God or the universe. So, Wilfried, how have you addressed the challenges of difficult father relationships in your work, and how they relate to male and female feeling of confidence and competence?
It's a wide field, of course, because of every client has a different relationship to his or her father. The father figure, of course, represents the outward orientation in the world, because the mother relationship is more to do with the internal.
Yeah.
Of course, we grow up in the mother's womb, but what we know from prenatal research and prenatal working in therapy is that the father is equally important from the beginning on, like the mother. When there is no father, like father is abandoning the mother, or the relationship splits apart, then there is something of a hole in the energy body, missing the energy of the father. The sperm cell transports the DNA from the father and also can transport memories of the history of the father with the traumatization experienced, which is a large field, especially in Europe, because World War II drew a line to a massive traumatization.
Oh, yes.
Many men were in war, so they carried on traumas, but many of them after World War II series did not have the chance to do therapy. That was not so well established at that time.
Yes. How long have you been doing therapy in your part of the world? You're in Austria, correct?
In Austria, yeah.
Yes.
I started therapy at the end of my 20s. We have to look also at the history of the father to understand more about our personal side, our male side being afflicted by the fate of the father, maybe even from the grandfather.
Mm.
As we also know now, there is epigenetics, which changes DNA and can be changed during the life of the father due to traumatization or difficult circumstances in life, and then gets passed on to the child that is conceived.
How has this come up in your work, and how do you address it?
I explore the history. I ask them about how the father's life was, and then they can sense inside what feelings come up. And then they can enter a breathing process and work on the feelings that come up from there.
So you integrate breath work right into this work. What are the common issues that come up around father?
When they can open the heart more, they feel a longing to get physical contact with the father, which is not very common in the upbringing, especially after war.
Yes.
This is also reflection and follow-up of Nazi ideology, which had a lot of impact on bringing children up with not much emotional support.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
In dealing with men with this issue, what do you find breathwork's use in men's rigidity or holding back or lack of emotional responsiveness?
It's important that they soften their armors, which can be inherited from the father, and also from a cultural imprint which often says boys shouldn't cry. That's a kind of weakness, and that can close their heart, of course.
Yeah.
Because crying helps more to release also inner stress, and this now can be stored in an armor around the heart.
Okay.
So when you inhale, you can imagine male strength coming in and also opening the chest. But with the exhale, when you learn to relax, which is important for many people to learn, then this area can soften. And it also can open up to more deeper feelings of vulnerability.
How is it different with women in dealing with their father relationship?
Yeah, it's of course different. Many men desire boys and could have a difficulty with receiving girls. And then this relationship can be difficult because also a woman needs recognition from the father. And by getting this recognition, she then can have a more friendly and trusting relationship with men. If not, there will always be a level of mistrust which can lead to conflicts in relationships.
Yes. What are some examples you've seen that have been particularly difficult but have been successful?
Sometimes, which is the most severe thing, when there is sexual abuse, this can totally disrupt the connection and also build up a deep distrust into men. And this is why, understandably, many women go to female therapists. Yet, when they have healed a lot of their wounds, it's also important for them to work with a male therapist at some point in time, because then they can build up trust to the male side.
Okay. Are there particular difficulties in doing breath work with women who've had this kind of abuse in the past? How would you deal with those difficulties with breath work?
First, it's important to build up a trustful relationship before entering into a breathing process.
Okay.
You can ask the client, how do you feel with me? Tell me anything which is in the way. This is very important, because otherwise it also can inhibit the breathing process when there is no safe frame where they can let go. Trust is the basic ingredient of a therapeutic process, in my view.
In terms of the issue of confidence and competence, are there differences between men and women in terms of their relationship with father, about, feeling like they can handle the world, that they can take care of themselves, that they can be successful?
Yeah, of course, this worldly aspect is from our tradition more on the male side. Although it now changes due to the emancipation of women, which is also their right. It's kind of the cultural evolution we go through. But deeper down, it's a male thing. And this also has to do with our very early ancestors, where the man in most tribal societies had to do work on the outside, had to do hunting, whereas the women stayed with the children in the more inner circle of the tribe.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But of course, this can change in a society which does not need to go hunting or fishing or building crop in order to survive. And this also creates a more balanced relationship between women and men.
Yes. In your own personal relationship with your father, what issues came up and what ways did you find breath work useful in, well, dealing with your own maleness and confidence and competence?
Yeah, of course, I also had my difficulties with my father in growing up, adolescence, where there is some struggle, some fight, because he was more of a rigid person and more of a righteous person. You have to go my way, there is just one way and this is my way. But I opposed in many things. I was part of the 68 generation
Mm-hmm.
and were rebels in some kind. You know, I also was playing guitar, starting with rock music, and he didn't like that so much. We also had like intellectual discussions around politics, philosophy, because I also studied philosophy, maybe out of the deeper reason to also be able to survive an argument with him on the level.
Yeah.
Maybe also win and then become strong in our image. But I didn't know that at that time. That's just
Right. Well, how did you come on breath work? And again, how did that support you in your growth?
Yeah. Breathwork came in later in my therapeutic work, but also as I knew could use it for myself, because I started my therapy process with Gestalt work, which also goes into emotion work, but is not as deep as I experienced with breathwork.
Mm-hmm.
Then, of course, it helped me to open up more in the heart. And then also my relationship with my father deepened. And one story which still saddens me somehow was when he told me, because my brother died in a car accident. And I, of course, was very sad as my mother and he as well. But he said, I could not cry my whole life. Last time I cried is when I was 9 years old. And so I'm sorry that I could not cry, which was really sad to hear.
Yes.
Mm.
Do you think that was some of the effect of having gone through the war and having to protect himself in that way?
Yeah, but his deepest wound was that he was given away from his father. His father died very early at his age of 2, so I don't know my paternal grandfather. And his mother gave him away when he was 9 in all his primal relationships.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Right.
so it was very difficult for him. But he was a good father in many sides. He was a very dedicated father.
Yes.
And this I appreciate, of course, yeah.
What experiences in breath work were particularly enlightening for you?
Of course, many, but the encounter with birth was very basic for me. It was one of my first sessions when I experienced my birth. Also, opening up in a spiritual sense, that many spiritual experiences came up.
Mm-hmm. Now, you said earlier that current research is saying that the relationship with father is important from the get-go, right from the very start. And when father is not absent, that has an effect. Can you say a little bit more about what that research is?
When people work with the prenatal sphere and phase, then they know that the father is important, that an embryo or a fetus growing up in the womb has a sense for the father. Mm-hmm. Not what we know from research is that when the father is present, that babies, when they're born, they know the voice of the father.
Oh.
They are familiar with the voice of the father. Maybe also, I would guess, with the emotional tone, the emotional atmosphere around the father.
Yes, yes.
There is a lot more to that. Many people can recall arguments or fights that parents had during pregnancy. Between them. Many can recall or even sense the reason why the relationship between parents split up.
So if the father were either a precipitant for, in their minds, for the relationship not working, then their feeling of confidence in keeping a relationship working for themselves might have strong doubt. Or if their father had difficulty in providing for the family, his own confidence was weak in terms of making it in the world. Right. That also then, what you're suggesting, had an influence on their self-esteem or how they felt about themselves.
Yeah. So often it's even, strong men from their physical appearance and also from their attitude can have difficulties in areas of their life because they had a weak father behind them.
Okay.
Who was traumatized or broken by his own history. And one help is to look for an ancestor behind the father in the male line who can then serve as a resource, as a male resource.
Okay.
This can be very helpful. Often this person is unknown to the client.
How do they go about getting in touch with that ancestor, of course, who is long since dead? Is it actual research into family history, or is it something done more psychically, or sometimes one or the other?
It's not so difficult for most clients. They just close their eyes, relax their breathing, and take up contact to themselves, and then having them imagine the father behind them. Usually it's on the right side of the body behind. And then you imagine the father of the father behind the father, and so on. Also when the grandfather looks as a weak or as a traumatized person or wounded man or a broken person, you go back even a generation way back till you find a person which the client feels strong and grounded, and then you connect with that person and imagine that the energy of this person comes through the male lineage, and you integrate it, you breathe it literally into your body and imagine that this energy flows into your cells.
Wow, yes. I've never heard that described that way, Wilfried. That's very, very unique. I like that approach. I guess we could, if we extrapolated from that lineage would all go all the way back to source itself, which is
yes.
Right.
Right. But of course, we need the specific tone of the male energy.
Yes.
because it's a specific tone, which of course comes from source, but it's a unique formation, and especially when people are missing that, it can be filled up by the male lineage.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And have you done that same thing with women in terms of getting in touch with that male lineage?
Yeah, of course. Also, women need that, especially when the father energy is somehow affected by loss or misunderstanding or even mistreatment.
Yes.
Often it's difficult to forgive the father and needs a lot of work, but it can be easier to connect to a grandfather.
Yes. I believe it's also easier to forgive once I've recovered some of what it is that I believe is missing or lost. Because as long as it's still missing or lost to me, it's hard for me then to really say, oh, that's okay. You know?
Sure. Now, in my view, forgiveness comes by itself when the wound is healed.
Yes.
And this needs a lot of self-acceptance.
Yes.
And I also believe that the therapeutic relationship is like a supplement of a paternal relationship. Like we act as a good parent, sometimes good father, sometimes good mother, so that the client can integrate the inner image of a good father and a good mother, and then start to be a good father and a good mother to themselves.
Amen.
But it takes time, it's not a quick fix.
No, absolutely. Well, your work has been as a therapist in most of your professional career, is that correct?
I started 30 years ago working with clients.
Okay. And how long have you been doing breath work?
28.
Okay, so not long after you were a therapist, you started employing breath work.
Yeah.
And you train breath workers yourself?
Right, yeah, that's now 25 years.
Okay.
Ongoing.
What is the name of your school, your training school for breath workers?
It's called Atman, which is a Sanskrit term, and it means inner way to enlightenment, and is etymologically the same word as breathing in German. Breathing in German is Atem, or breath is Atem, and Atman is the same word.
I did not know that. That's I've always known that was the name of your school, but I didn't realize the etymology of it. Yes, that's wonderful.
But it's also similar, as you know, that pneuma in Greece, the breath is also spirit.
Yes.
Or in Latin, it's also related.
Yes. Is there anything further that you would like to add around the importance of father in returning to source?
I would say one step before source. You have the male archetype and the female archetype. And the combination of male archetype and female archetype is what is called the alchemical wedding, which was pointed out by C.G. Jung, a disciple of Freud, who worked a lot with symbols and imagos. So it's important to have a strong and vibrant father imago inside of yourself.
Yes.
Which only can have when you have healed the relationship with your physical father. Otherwise, it's more like a projection or like an idealization.
Oh, yes. Well, that's beautiful and very deep work. Thank you, Wilfried, for shedding light in both what you know and also what you practice and what you've embodied. I know you've been a successful father figure for so many in your work, and I've always felt that strong male imago in you as a confederate. Okay, my friend, thank you again so much, Wilfried. It's really an honor to have you as a colleague, and know that you are spreading this work in Europe and actually throughout the world with your writings and your lectures and your sharing. So thank you. Blessings
Thank
to
you
you.
so much, Jim. It was really a great pleasure to talk to you and to revive our connection in such a appreciative, loving, and humorous way.
Great.